If you did not blow in the abroad, what allowed you to believe blowing would happen in Nigeria? Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey, what's up, how are you doing? Hope you are doing great. Well, let me sit well, guys. So in today's video, I am going to be doing part 3 of my Move Back to Nigeria series. I know, guys, I know, like, I am like 7 months too late. I actually contemplated whether I wanted to finish the series or do part of the series or just forget it, but then I decided that I would do part 3 where I answered your questions, and then depending on the feedback I get, whether I continue to the end of the series. I already have the content ready, everything is ready for the rest of the series, but I just need feedback. So if you watch this video and you like it and you would like to see the rest of the series, then make sure you leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel as well. So I have a lot of comments. I'm just looking on my phone now. I'm gonna go through the comments and then any questions that I see in the comments from the 2 videos, I will answer them. What else? That's basically what today's video is going to be all about. Let's jump straight into the video. So I have my phone and I have the comments. Like, I have a lot of comments. I haven't looked at some of them. I haven't seen some of them. Some of them are from way back when I first started the series. Some of them are a bit recent. So yes, I'm going to read the comments, and then if there is a question, I will answer it. So the first person was, you came back to Nigeria at the right time. Africa is the next investment frontier. And then someone said you should have waited about 30 more years. Yeah, we still have a few years to go, guys. We still have a few years to go. Like, there's so much development that needs to be done. So many changes need to be made. So many things need to be done in order for, I'm not going to speak in terms of Africa, but I'm going to say for Nigeria, there's just so much we need to do before we can even say we are at the forefront of being a developed country. We have a long way to go, but it's doable. I mean, it's something that can be achieved. It's something that can be done, but they have a long way to go. Research is key. Nigeria is not an easy place to live in or relocate to. Thanks for sharing. So someone commented, it's very interesting to hear what led you to make the decision to move to Nigeria after 16 years living in the UK. How did the rest of your family, particularly your parents, feel about your decision? Okay, there's a lot of questions in this comment. So my family were, funny enough, my parents were okay with it. And I guess it was because we used to come to Nigeria every 2 years. And obviously the reason they did that, they weren't stupid when they did that. They did that so we don't forget home, and so we know that Nigeria will always be home. And so if any of us wanted to move back, it wouldn't be a shock to our system. So they knew what they were doing when they were bringing us back every 2 years. When they found out that my boyfriend at the time was living in Nigeria and I was in the UK, obviously it crossed their minds. My mom used to talk to me about it, like, you guys will have to decide. When we got engaged, she spoke to me like, you guys will have to decide and stuff like that. And I'm not going to come on here and lie to you guys. I'm going to be quite straightforward. My parents would love for us to move back to the UK as a family. They want us to be closer to them, and they also feel like we have more opportunities in the UK, but they weren't against it. My parents weren't against me moving. In fact, they were very supportive. They've been very supportive, and funny enough, my mom still believes that one day in the future we will move back, and I believe it too. Anything can happen. I can't never say never. Anything can happen, but they would like for us to move to the UK because then we'd be closer to them. My siblings were fine with it. Like, they knew that he made me happy, and Nigeria wasn't exactly a foreign place. It was somewhere that we've been to, we grew up a bit in. So they were quite on board with it. They weren't against it. My mom and dad never said, hey, you're not going. I think the major thing was my husband reassured them. Like, he made things comfortable for me. So they saw that, they appreciated that, so they weren't like, they were supportive of it. Also, did you have any fears or doubts about this decision prior to making the move? I think whenever you decide to move anywhere, you will have doubts, and you will you will think twice, you'll pray about it. And the key for me was prayer, and it got to a point where I kind of saw my family, and I wanted my family together. And when we both kind of considered where we were at in our careers, it just made more sense for me to come to Nigeria. So it basically depends on what works for your family. If anything, to do NYSC, get my certificate, and then that way I can go back and forth, and wherever God takes us, I was kind of prepared either way. I was scared about moving, but I didn't doubt my move. I didn't doubt my move to Nigeria, just because I knew I was doing it for my family. I knew God was in it, and also my husband made me feel very comfortable about moving. So I didn't have any doubt. I knew, like, even till today, I know that Nigeria was the best decision we made as a family. Like, coming to Nigeria when we did was the best decision that we made. And don't get me wrong, things haven't been smooth, things have been very rocky. So I don't have doubts. I know that I am where I'm supposed to be, but I had fears in terms of how I was going to cope, how I was going to adjust, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And then the next question is, what was the basis of you and your husband deciding that Nigeria, as opposed to the UK, was the most suitable place for you to settle in? I think it came down to two things. One thing was my husband didn't want to move to the UK. Like, he didn't want it. He just started his career here in Nigeria. He just got a new job, and he didn't see himself living in the UK. And he's the kind of person where he's like, Nigeria is where we are, and it's where we're going to make it. So he didn't even want to go anywhere else. So that was number one. And then number two, so when he said, okay, he didn't want to come, and I said, okay, I don't mind moving to Nigeria, the next thing was, whose career was, how am I going to say, whose career was, can you change? Like, who was in a point in their career where they could move? And he just started his career, so it was a thing of, he just got a new job. He would come to the UK and obviously have to start finding a new job. We have to go through the visa process and everything. Whereas with me, since I'd already done the pharmacy course, I spoke about this in the first part. Since I'd already done the pharmacy course, it would be easier for me to come to Nigeria, do NYSC, and get a job. So I guess those were the main 2 points that that factored into why we moved to Nigeria. And also, like, I was coming to Abuja, not Lagos. That in itself played a major deciding factor. So let's find another question. Someone said, did you finish NYSC, if I may ask? So I had a lot of issues with my NYSC. I started it, then I stopped when I was pregnant. So because I stopped, they wouldn't let me continue, and they wouldn't let me start again. So I had so many issues. Thankfully, I was able to start last year in April. I started in April, so I will be finishing next month. So someone else said, have you regretted your decision of coming to Nigeria? No, I don't regret it. I feel like it was the best decision I made at that point in my life. You know, when you just make a decision and everything kind of falls into place, I feel like God was in it, so I don't regret it. I don't regret. There's no regret here. No regret. There's no room to regret. I don't think I know how to regret things, because I always try to find the positive in everything. So because of the kind of person I am, it's very difficult for me to regret anything. So I feel like it was the best decision I made for my family when I made it. So yeah, no regrets, guys, no regrets. Someone said, this is what I want to see when you say you move back. Someone who has spent extensive amounts overseas, not to go to school abroad for short years, you know you will move back, or you knew what's up. This is the kind of story I can relate to. Not to step on any toes. If you went abroad to do like your undergrad or your master's, or you just went for a few years, you knew you were coming back. So why are you telling me you moved back to Nigeria? Like, it shouldn't be a big deal, but I see a lot of people that, you know, went to the UK for school or went abroad for school, ended up coming back to Nigeria, and they're like, oh, it's a shock to my system. Girl, there was no shock. That was your reality. You just took a break from Nigeria. Like, like for me, I don't get it, because you knew you were always gonna have to come back. So, and you grew up in Nigeria. It's not like, and you were gone for 3 years. It's not, no. Someone said this love, man. Great video. My advice for anyone that wants to move to Nigeria: first, make sure you visit Nigeria before, so that you learn and see how the system works. That is key. That is the cocoa. That is like #1. And then have enough funds to support yourself. Then you can decide if you can cope. And having that fund is key. Like, guys, when I moved, having my savings, still having my savings, has been key, like, in surviving in this Nigeria. So I agree with that. How did your body adjust in terms of heat and environment? I think because I am the kind of person that I prefer being hot. Like, throughout my years in the UK, whenever winter came, guys, I went into hibernation. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I hated the cold months. I couldn't stand it. I hated the snow. I just detested November, December, January, February, March. I hated those 5 months. So coming to Nigeria, guys, I was excited about the heat. I was excited about being warm 24/7. I was excited about the fact that I wouldn't have to wear a coat. I'm still excited about the fact that I don't have to wear a coat. Whenever I go to the UK in the winter, like, I am so miserable and I don't want to go anywhere because I'm cold. But like, I love the heat. Currently it's Hamatan, and so the mornings are supposed to be cold and the afternoons are warmer. And when people are complaining that it's cold, I just look at them like, I love this, give me this. Wow, love this video. Let me watch part 2. Please consider doing a video of your experience about Anambra. I already did a video. I'll put the link here. Wow, someone said they moved back in 1984 and left in 1994. You did 10 years. You tried. Very informative. Thanks, darling. Are you practicing as a pharmacist in Nigeria already? If yes, what's it like relatively? If no, why aren't you? Cheers. So I'm not practicing as a pharmacist just yet because I'm doing NYSC. I need to do NYSC before I can practice as a pharmacist, but I am a licensed pharmacist in Nigeria. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. I'm enjoying looking after my daughter. Hopefully when I do get my NYSC certificate, I will maybe locum as a pharmacist or try and find like a part-time pharmacist job that I can do, but for the meantime I am not. Someone said you're beautiful. Well, thank you. Someone said, if I say I come back to Nigeria after my study, no way. Well, good luck to you. I hope you are able to like sort out your papers and stay in the UK legally. Are you going to set up your own pharmacy? Yes, that's part of my long game. That's my long-term ambition. I want to get my NYSC certificate so I'll be able to work in my pharmacy that I set up. And you know, if you want to invest, anybody looking to invest in a pharmacy, yeah. I moved to Nigeria 15 years ago from the UK, and now I'm emotionally drained because I love my country, Nigeria, the weather, but the problems of light, bad road and health sector is scary. Now you basically just said the three major big important factors about Nigeria: light, bad road and the health sector. Those are 3 like very crucial things that are not in place in Nigeria that needs to be in place. I mean, I'm lucky because I live in Abuja and the bad roads are few and far between. There are only a few bad roads in Abuja. And then she said, I'm in the UK now to get away from the stress of spending so much money on fuel. The truth is, do your research, buy yourself a good generator and get ready to use money. The thing about living in Nigeria is you need to be willing to spend money. If you want to live relatively similar to how you were living in the UK, you have to be willing to spend money. So being that if you want to have light, at least better than what you will have You need to be willing to buy a generator. You need to be willing to spend money to get the best health care. It's not fair, it's not the best, but that is how it is. Move to Nigeria. Okay, I feel like all these comments are like, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. Everyone is, I'm not coming back. So someone said, how did you choose between living in Abuja versus living in Lagos? Basically, there wasn't a decision. My husband got a job in Abuja, so we moved to Abuja. How difficult is it making new friends in Nigeria after living outside of Nigeria for most of your life? For that question, I'm going to say that I am grateful for social media. A lot of the friends I have made in Nigeria has been through social media. I'd say 90% of my friends I have in this Nigeria, I met through social media. So from doing YouTube, from being a content creator, most of my friends came from that. I can say my top 5 friends in this Nigeria came from that means. And I'm trying to think of any friend that I have that didn't come from social media. I think I have 2. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's how it just worked out for me. I was able to make friends because of what I do. What I do in terms of creating content, making YouTube video is very social, and I've made a lot of friends that way. But through church and through mainly church, I guess church is where I've met a lot of people that are not in my line of work. That I've become friends with, I would say through church. So it's pretty much the same. It depends on your personality. If you're a fun, bubbly person, you can make a friend anywhere. If you are not, then it might be a bit difficult. I don't think it depends on the kind of person you are. People will be friends with you based on your personality. So I don't think where you are kind of determines whether you're able to make friends or not. And someone said, does NYSC pertain to those over a certain age wanting to work in the health sector? A lot of people say that you don't have to do NYSC if you are over the age of 30. Don't let them lie to you. I saw 40-year-olds when I went to Cal. So basically, it depends on when you graduated university. If you graduated university after 30, then you are exempt. But if you graduated before 30, then you still have to do it regardless of your age. I think all returnees need reality checks. Facts. If you did not blow in the abroad, what allowed you to believe blowing would happen in Nigeria? Facts. Your accent. It's the same hustle anywhere. Basic amenities, social welfare are more available in Western countries, but business failure rates are just as high abroad. Facts. Facts. So that is it, guys. We have come to the end. I have answered everyone's questions, and depending on the feedback I get with this video, that will help me determine whether or not I should do the rest of the series. Yeah, so let me know if you want me to finish the series off, and I surely will. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to check out my channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, 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 please. I'm begging you. We're trying to get that subscriber count just a bit higher. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you in my next video.